I think this is a very wonderful video,
Sorry to say this, fellas, but in 2026, your worth is not proven by your loyalty.
I think I agree with this woman.
In 2026, do not want love, baby. They want a lifestyle with in a post attached to it.
It's very simple, very simple. The cheapest thing you can give is a peace of mind. That's the cheapest thing. That's what guys want. Respect and a peace of mind. I mean, where's the lie? Where's the lie?
They can give you a whole list of shit that they want, and you can do it. And it still won't be enough.
You tell me if you disagree or agree with this woman. I think she's phenomenal. And she's good looking. Not like she's some ugly, nasty little ogre. Then I'd be like, man, shut the up. She's a good looking lady. And she's trying to tell you women something. Thank you for being an ally.
Somebody got to say it. And I'd be the to say it. Sorry to say this, fellas, but in 2026, your worth is not proven by your loyalty. It's not proven by your consistency. It's not proven by your discipline. Not by your masculinity. Definitely not proven by your emotional intelligence. Your protection? Nope, not proven by that either. Your honesty? Nope, don't prove enough. How well you lead? That's not enough. How you treat women? Not proven by that either. It's not proven by how solid you are. It's not proven by how hard you work. And it also ain't proven by how you keep your word as a man. No, baby. In 2026, your worth as a man is proven by how many bills you can pay, how many women you can save financially, how much money you can spend or send, how many vacations you can take on, how many BBLs you can sponsor. Oh, and how many people she can brag to about what you bought her. That's it. In 2026, do not want love, baby. They want a lifestyle with in a post attached to it. That's it. So regardless of what the you do as a man, it's never going to be enough, because guess what? They're always going to continue to move the goalposts. You're not enough, sir. I'm sorry. It's 2026. You might have been enough in 1992. You might have been enough in 1982. But with these booty heads today, you're not enough. It don't matter. They can give you a whole list of shit that they want, and you can do it. And it still won't be enough. Like a man can be loyal, faithful, emotionally available, family-oriented, hardworking, protective, still because constituted as not being enough, right? Let it with a whole bunch of money walk. This husband material, right? Please, like I just don't understand. I'm talking about I deserve a provider. Based off of what? Based off what? Because if a man is expected to lead, provide, protect, teach, guide, stay faithful, regulate his emotions, make money, solve problems, stay masculine, and remain mentally strong through all this, then what exactly is the bringing besides all these mother requirements? Because no presence is not enough. He could be present with the Lord without all of these mother stipulations and problems. See, what you don't realize is being attractive is not the same thing as being valuable. The more rare you are, the more valuable you are. And if you're out here doing the same shit as these other requiring the same as these other motherfuckers, you're not trying to set yourself apart at any point. How are you valuable? You're not. The value lies in the man you see no value in. But don't shoot the messenger.
All right, shalom. We'll start by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto YAHAWASHI, bahasham. Real quick. Also, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who do who will. All right. Real quick, I wanted to go into a quick topic, all right, or a quick lesson in regards to what's going on in the world right now, especially when it comes to these women, right, how they see and how they value men. All right. And a lot of them have been really, starting to come around and realizing that a good man is really hard to find. Okay, you're not going to find a good man in the streets. You're not going to find a good man, just being a freak, and a really a good man. All right, it's going to be a man of the Lord, especially in these last days. Okay, because you got a lot of men out here who have real feminine characteristics. Okay, very emotional men. They're not tempered. They don't know how to control their emotions. All right, a lot of them are down low brothers. Okay, a lot of them don't work. All right, a lot of them are street niggas. But to find a real good man that's going to sit there, that's going to stand there, all right, and teach you and correct you when you're wrong, protect you, provide for his family. Okay, those men are far few between. And not only that, the one that fears the name of Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. Okay, because when you read the scriptures, the Lord has a certain number of men that he has chosen to receive salvation. Not just that, also to impart his wisdom. So when they move according to his will, not according to their own will. And that's the man that's going to be valued as gold in these last days, man. Because if you don't have a man as a woman, especially a man of the Lord, all right, you don't have a covering, okay? And the Lord says that in these last days, man, that you're going to need that man in order to be protected for what's about to come on the planet Earth. Real quick, I wanted to go out and pull the book of Jeremiah 30 and 7. All right, speaking about the times that we're about to come into. Okay, so this is going to be the book of Jeremiah 30, starting at verse 7. All right, I start at verse 6. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail? And all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it, is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Okay? And how is he going to be saved out of it? All right, by trusting in Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. All right, not relying on carnality, his own strength to deliver him out of his situations, but actually relying on Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI to deliver him out of those perilous times that's about to hit the earth. And as a woman, if you don't have a man of the Lord standing with you or in front of you to protect you, then you're shit out of luck. Okay, real quick, I wanted to grab the book of Isaiah 13 and 12. All right, this is what the Lord said he's going to do in these last days. Start at verse 11. It says, "And I will punish the world for their evil, and their wicked for their iniquity. And I will raise slack, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease." Right, so everybody's going to get humble in these last days. You proud women, all right, you high-minded elites, okay, from the rich all the way down to the poor. Everyone's going to be humbled. Okay, but it says that the arrogancy of the proud is going to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Verse 12 says, "And I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore will I shake the heavens, and the earth shall be removed out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger." So the Lord is about to lay loose his wrath upon this place, man. And the only thing that's going to prevent a woman from receiving that ultimate wrath is if she has a man, okay, of the Lord. Not just a regular nigga in the streets, but a man of the Lord. Right? So for those of you men that don't have women right now, don't worry, man. All right? Isaiah 4 and 1. A lot of these men are going to die in the wars. A lot of these men are going to die from local strifes, riots, okay, police brutality, home invasions. Okay? And they're going to be looking for a man to protect them in that day. And that by that time, their mind is going to be so humbled, okay, they're not even going to think to try to come against you or assert any type of power, because once the powers of heaven, of the government are shaken, once they get, who's going to protect them in that day? Okay? Who's going to protect the men? Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. If you're not serving Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI as a man, then you're going to fall to the sword and or hunger. Okay? And the Lord says, "I'm going to make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir." All right? And Ophir is over here in the Americas, man. This is where you find the best gold. And how do you get the best gold? Well, you have to remove all the impurities. Or the best gold has less impurities. Okay? See this real quick. It's the book of Ecclesiastes 2 and 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay? So for the men of the Lord is going to put us through certain situations to remove all the impurities from us so that we can be acceptable in his sight. But in that process, we become pure, fine gold. Okay? This is the man that the Lord has chosen to receive salvation. And that's the man, as a woman who fears the Lord, you need to be with. Okay? Man, you can't talk about the man unless you bring this up. The book of Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1, and it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. Well, let me go back a little further, right? This is the book of Isaiah 3 and 25. It says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. Okay, and we're coming up against World War III right now. And a lot of men are going to die in that war. He says, and her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women, which is a complete number, it could be 100, it could be 50, it could be 1,000, shall take hold of one man. Because that one man is going to have the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI resting upon him. Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Right. You know, in the ancient days, it was a reproach for a woman not to have a man or kids. Especially by the time you were 20, 21, you were considered an old maid. Okay? And it's a beautiful thing in our culture, in our custom. It is a beautiful thing for a woman to be married and have babies, man. Right? Because that's what you were created for. You were created to bring forth life. And the men were created to cultivate that life. Why you would call the man that you're with your husband, because the husband is a farmer, one who tends to the land. All right? So we as men, we tend to our women and we tend to our children. Okay? But that's what the Lord is doing in these last days, man. He's raising up men in these last days, all right, so that he can bring salvation to them. And with those men, that's how the kingdom is going to get started. Through those men and the women that were given to him during the time of Jacob's trouble. Because how does a woman get her salvation? Okay, let's get it. All right. Book of 2 Timothy 2. I start at verse 12. Says, but I suffer a woman not to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. This is your position, woman. This is what you're supposed to be doing in your relationship, especially with the man of the Lord. For Adam was first formed, and then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression, right? Scripture says that, beginning of sin came through the woman, and because of her we die. But it says, nevertheless, all right, the Lord still having mercy. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity, which is love, and holiness with sobriety. Okay, so you women are supposed to have an expectation that the Lord, or that the man that you're with, is going to bring you that salvation that the Lord has promised him. Okay, and a part of that is going to be through you bringing forth children, his seed. All right, which ultimately is going to be a part of the elect as well. All right, so the times, and the Lord is breaking down the mind of these women to help them realize that they're going to need to share a man. A woman can't really have her own man. There's too many women out here for one woman to have her own man. This is why the Lord is going to give a man, elect man more than one woman. All right, especially because we got to bring back our nation, because 2/3 of our own people are going to die on this side. They're not going to make it. Okay? They're not going to make it. All right, let me get this one more precept here. The book of Isaiah 32. All right, starting at verse 1, it says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. All right? Talking about the elect man. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, which talks about destruction, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. This is what the Lord is doing for his men. He's turning his men into fine gold. He's turning his men into fortresses, coverts from the storm, the wind, the tempest. Because shit's gonna get really hard out here, man. And if you women have not humbled yourself up until this point to realize that, yo, the man that's out there in the highways and byways, that's doing the sit down, that's doing the videos, that's making his life a living sacrifice, all right, that's the man that you need to be. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. All right? You're coming in a time where, yo, a woman, you walking by yourself in the street in daylight, you might get took. And who's gonna help you? Shit, you might get ran through by multiple men. And if it's a whole bunch of you women walking together, all y'all might get ran through together. So it would behoove you, right, in the words of my brother Khabar, it would behoove you to seek YAHAWASHI now. Learn how to be a wife now. So that way you can have a chance in receiving salvation as well. Okay? So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWASHI. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right? Hey, may we endure to the end. Let's keep on pushing and doing the will of YAHAWASHI. Shalom.